you? こんにちは皆さん。お元気ですか? Today I'm going to talk about Kamidana. Kamidana. Well, Kamidana, it is miniature household altars of Shintoism. Shintoism is one of our religions in Japan. We are usually Shintoist and also Buddhist, just because we are Japanese. Well, so this is from the Shintoism, the altar of the Shintoism. So you might think, oh, why I want to talk about Kamidana in this video of karate? It's because in many dojos, there are Kamidana. So I'd like to explain you what this Kamidana means. Well, this is Kamidana, hiragana and kanji. And this kanji, the first one, kami, it means the god, the god. And this left part, this is the same as in katakana ne, but very thinner. Well, this ne here, and if you see kanjis with this part with ne, it means sacred, holy. This is the god. And tana, this is shelf. And the kanji is like this. The first, the left part is ki. Ki is the tree or wood. Ki. And here, like moon and moon. So double moons. Tsuki, tsuki. So ki, tsuki, tsuki. And then you can write tana, shelf. So Kamidana can be the god on the shelf. And inside of Kamidana, there are many decorations, but it depends on how expensive is that Kamidana. So maybe you can buy one very gorgeous one or very simple and easy, very simple one too. Well, but in Japan, we must have ofuda inside, because this ofuda, it's a kind of charm, but yearly 1 year symbol of the god. So it's only for 1 year. Well, but if you've got your Kamidana in your dojo, and if you're not Shintoist, you've got the other different religion, it's okay. It's maybe you have this Kamidana just for the decoration in your dojo. And in that case, maybe you don't have to have this ofuda. But in Japan, if we have in our house Kamidana, then we have ofuda because this is important. This is kind of charm. Well, this o, it is only for respect. We use many times o or go to respect, like the keigo word. Fuda, this kanji, and also this kihen, like wood or tree, and with. Here we pronounce fuda and ofuda. It's something very, very valuable for spirit. But this one also can pronounce like satsu. Now when we say osatsu with this kanji osatsu, it means the money, but not the coins, but the bill, the paper bills. That is also osatsu. Well, but here ofuda, this is this kind of charm, and usually it's from paper or wooden, and sometimes like a cloth. So it depends. And we can buy this ofuda in jinja. Jinja is a sanctuary, sanctuary of Shintoism. In jinja, so there are many jinjas in Japan, so we can buy ofuda there quite easily. And this ofuda is the priest pray for 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 your safeness during 1 year, and then after 1 year you just throw it away, this paper. No, but you you get back to that place, that jinja, then you return them, and you can buy the different one, new one, for the next 1 year. So that is ofuda in Japan. In ofuda, there are written several kanjis, and that kanjis usually mean the name of the jinja where you bought this ofuda, or maybe the name of the god, that this shrine, this concrete shrine, is for the worship of this shrine. Because in Shintoism there are many gods, not like one only god, but in shrine, in Shintoism, there are many gods. So in ofuda there are name of the god or name of the shrine in kanji. Well, so if we've got Kamidana in our house, it means there is a god because of this ofuda, and this can protect us during 1 year. So we must give the god these kind of things, the food like omizu, okome, oshio. Well, omizu, well, I use this o for respect. Omizu, it means water. Okome, this is rice. Uncooked rice is called okome. If it's cooked, we say gohan. Well, we can offer this okome, uncooked one, but sometimes we can also offer cooked one too. And oshio, this is salt. So these three things are really important things for our life, right? Water, rice represent the food, not rice, only rice. So, but in Japan, people eat rice. So the okome, it is all kind of food. And oshio, the salt, this is very important mineral. So these three things we offer in the Kamidana. And water, we must change every day, because water must be very pure. So we change every day. And okome no shio, maybe we must change every day, but it depends on each family. For example, one can say, well, I'm only gonna change only twice a month, that the first day and 15th day. Or some people say, oh, I'm gonna change every week, like that. So it depends on the family. Well, but water, my mother used to change every day. So these are three things that we offer to the god in the Kamidana. Well, there are some rules for the collocation of this Kamidana. So I'm going to explain you. Well, this word, kamiza, because Kamidana must be in kamiza. And I'm going to tell you what is kamiza. Well, the first, look at these kanji. Here we pronounce kamiza, but this first one, it is ue. Ue, it means above. And one kanji can read in many ways, or sometimes 2 ways, 3 ways, but this kanji has got lots of ways of reading. For example, jo with this kanji. Jo, in karate you use jo, like jodan, chudan, gedan. Jodan, it means the above, no, upper. So this is upper, jaw. And here we pronounce kami, za. This kanji, here we pronounce za, but we can also say suwaru, suwarimasu. With suwaru, suwarimasu. Suwarimasu, this is the verb. It means to sit down. Sit down. And so in kunyomi we pronounce suwa, but in onyomi za, za. You know the other word using za. For example, seiza. You know seiza, the way of sitting correctly. That is seiza, right? Seiza. Well, here kamiza. Kamidana must be in kamiza. Well, what is kamiza? Well, kamiza, like with this kanji, so it means that kamiza, the shelf, but upper part of the room. So the kamiza is not, for example, the same level of our eye, or not at all on the floor, because there's a God. So we must worship the God looking up, not looking down. So it's very important. ちょっとごめんなさい、見えない。So, so the kamiza must be very high place, higher than our eyes level, higher, and so we can see this kamidana. We can worship to the upper. So this is one of the rules, and also this kamiza means it's far from the door. For example, this kamiza there are kamiza in, for example, in restaurant or in the table or in one room when there are some kind of meetings with the boss and their employees. The boss always sits in the place of kamiza, or in the restaurant too. The very important person sits in kamiza. And kamiza means it's not near the door, because very near the door there are many people coming and going, so you cannot be very relaxed. Kamiza is the place where there's the farthest place of that room from that door, right? This is kamiza. For example, if you watch some kind of movies of samurai, maybe there's samurai, very important samurai, daimyo or shogun, and there are many other samurais. Then the shogun is always sitting in kamiza, the very important place, very far from the door. That is kamiza. So kamidana must be in kamiza. It means very higher place than your eye level, higher place, and far from the door. So you can if you have your kamidana, you can consider if this place is okay or not exactly. And also in under this kamiza or under this kamidana, the person cannot go and come. So the people cannot go and down and walk. So that place is not also good. So kamidana is like a sacred place. In Japan, we usually have our butsudan at house. Well, butsudan, this is the color of usually black. And we collocate this butsudan in under much lower place, because when we worship, when we pray to the butsudan, we sit down like seiza on the floor. So the place is quite lower place, and Kamidana upper place. For example, in my mother's house, there was a butsudan here, and in upper place, just here, so very near, there was the Kamidana. And my mother used to get up very early in the morning. She prayed at 6 o'clock in the morning and 6 o'clock in the evening. That was her habit, to pray twice a day. But my sister and I were sleeping at 6 o'clock in the morning, so we didn't pray. And at 6 o'clock in the evening, we watched my mother prayed, but we didn't pray. But my mother didn't oblige us to do that, because it's because my mother was happy like that. But maybe we are not so religious, or we didn't do anything like that. Well, so Butsudan, it comes from Buddhism. This first kanji is the same. I from katakana and mu from katakana. So I and I, mu together, this means Buddha, Hotoke, Buddha. So Butsudan, this is the place where there's the ancestors. Bukkyo, Buddhism. So Bukkyo, for us to pray for ancestors. And Kamidana, yours, that comes from Shinto. The first kanji is again the same. This is the God, the shelf, the shelf of God, and Shinto, the path to the God. So Shinto, this is Shintoism. And Shinto, there are many gods. The nature like that. So it's very interesting. Maybe I'm gonna make some videos about Shintoism and the other with Buddhism, so maybe you can understand better our culture. Now I'd like to talk about the relationship with Budo and Shinto. Well, Budo, martial arts. Why there are so many Kamidana in many dojos? Because I think, I'm going to talk about a little bit about Shinto. Well, Shinto, this is a religion, but it's very old religion in Japan, much older than Buddhism, because Buddhism came to Japan much later, from the India, China, and after to Japan. So Buddhism is a newer religion for us in Japan. But Shinto, this is just, it's a little bit mixture of the Japanese mythology. So this is the first religion in Japan. So it's very ancient one, and it's very important for us Japanese people. And we worship the nature. In Shinto, there are many gods. So it's very different from the other religion. For example, in Shintoism, we think the moon, the sun, the mountain, river, water, or very big and beautiful trees. They are all the gods because they are so beautiful, and we cannot explain about these kind of things. So these were considered as the god. So the Shintoism is like that. So, but these kind of things we can see, right? The mountain, we can see the mountain, we can see the water, we can see the sun, we can see this beautiful tree. So we can see these kind of things. But also there are things that we cannot see with our eyes, but they exist. And these kind of things is also considered as the god. For example, gravitation. Gravitation it's, yeah, it exists, but we cannot explain very well. So these kind of things, this kind of universal thing is also considered as the God. That is Shinto. So there are lots of gods. And I think, for example, gravitation is used in martial arts too. So it's very important. So in Budo, I think it's the difference between Budo and any other sports, because any other sports, the combative sports, is the sports is sport, our exercise, physical exercise. But Budo, I think it's more spiritual. Yes, we use our body, but actually it is the way to get to something very spiritual. So this is Budo. That's why maybe we worship the Kamidana and we pray for our safety, and or we try to understand something more than just the ordinary sports, maybe. So I think that's why there's Kamidana that reminds of this spirituality. Funakoshi Gichin sensei also told, 空手は礼に始まり、礼に終わる。Right? It means karate begins with rei and finishes with rei. So we must show our respect. And there is now I'm going to talk about the salutation. There is a word like this, 親善に礼。親善に礼。Well, 親善. Well, 親, it means the God. 善, it comes from front, 前. But for example, 善, you know, 善屈立ち. So 善, it means the front. 親善に礼. It means rei, the salutation to the front of the God, to the God. This is in front. You sit down in front of the God and you make your salutation. You make your bow. You do your bow. That 親善に礼. But in Occidental world, it's not correct to say 親善に礼, because even if you've got your Kamidana, I think you don't change your ofuda every year, and you don't worship your sanctuary in Shintoist, because you don't have to be Shintoist to practice karate, right? You've got your Kamidana. Maybe it's because just the part of the decoration of in dojo. So there's not God there like in Japanese style. So it's quite different. So it's not very correct to say 親善に礼 in the Occidental world. But you can say 正面に礼. The salutation to the front. 先生に礼. To the teacher. We show our gratitude to the teacher, 先生. お互いに礼. That our respect to our company, our friends. お互いに each other. お互いに it means each other, one another. お互いに礼. Like that. Did you like this video? Do you think it was interesting for you? I think it's very important to know about Japanese culture, like Shintoism and Buddhism. So I think I'm gonna make more videos about this kind of culture, that religion, Japanese religion. I hope you are interested in that. You can give me your opinions under this video. There's a commentary, so maybe you can write me what you think, because today I talked something about my own opinion. maybe it's not correct or it's different from yours. Maybe you can write them under below this video. And if you share my videos with your friends, that helped me a lot. That I appreciate very much. And if you didn't subscribe my channel yet, please subscribe my channel to receive my video every one. 今日もここまで見てくださって本当にどうもありがとうございます。ではチャンネル登録といいねボタン、そしてお友達とシェアしていただけたらとても嬉しいです。ではまた会いましょう。じゃあね。バイバイ。